recording on everything. Here we go. All right. But it's wild how me and you were talking, and you were saying that you have, which I've known for a long time, you're a linguist. You're very good with words. You're a good storyteller. You're a good information giver. You're good at retaining information. You shouldn't be somebody sitting behind a desk not communicating, is basically the point, right? But there's so many different ways to communicate. One of them is this. It's podcasting, which is the most fun thing ever. Okay.
So fun.
But then there's multiple ways to do it. You can podcast to adults, which I'd say we do most of the time. Some of our stuff is like family friendly, educational, good for kids, like you're learning something, but there is something me and you just connected on, which is wild. Not that we need any more things to connect on because we're boys. Right. But the drive, dream, and interest in children's entertainment. So you were just telling me, and I've done the same thing, that you are writing. So mentally, you have written children's books through storytelling to your kids for years.
Pure oration.
Which is amazing, dude. And now, finally, you're starting to go pen to paper so that it's something that could be produced and put in a format, whether it be Spotify or, dude, you know how much fun it would freaking be to make a cartoon?
Absolutely. It's exactly what we're going to do.
Is that what's
it's going on YouTube?
YouTube, and it will it's going to be the thing. That is maybe one of the most underrated things that I've dreamt about, is making cartoons or Spotify stories for kids. You know what I mean?
I think my issue is the whole time I just wanted to grow up and be super rich. That's it. All I cared about was I want money. I didn't grow up with a lot of it. My family didn't have money.
I'm right there with you.
So I always grew up thinking, I gotta get older, go to college. I have to get this business job and climb the corporate ladder so that I'm going to be the boss of everything, of the whole world, and I'll be the one that has all the money. And if I have money, then I'll be happy.
Right.
And then everyone will like me, and everyone will think I'm awesome because I showed them that I am the best.
Right.
Or whatever. But that's not how life is at all. And we all have talents, like you were saying.
And that's not how happiness works either, because who doesn't want to be rich and be happy? But here's the thing that I've started to come to terms with, just like you said, as I've gotten older, is I'm like, dude, what if you could be there better for the people that you love the most if you were doing something that you love to do on a daily basis? If what you are forced to give your energy to every day is something that feels like a zap instead of a boost, then I think whenever you get back to the people you love the most, you've got less to give.
Well,
you know what I mean?
That's what they say. You're supposed to do something that doesn't feel like work.
Right. Do
You're
what you
supposed
love.
To be happy to come every single day.
For sure. So, give me this. All right. We were talking a second ago about basically, we were talking about just creation, and whether it be oratory or animated video production, all this kind of stuff. We were talking about how we love it. Obviously, you're extremely talented in this kind of stuff. You're more talented in the oratory and storytelling and stuff than I am, by far. We were talking about what that might look like, what you might dude, if you put it on a recording, you end up marrying yourself to it. If you say it and you put it out there, you have to do it. Because you said it.
So it's already done.
Right. All you got to do is just follow through. So, all right. The story, the kid stories. Tell me about, first off, obviously you said that people have always told you. What have they always told you?
So all my life.
Right.
Despite what I think I'm pursuing, everyone, you know what I've learned? I've learned in life that you should listen to other people.
Yeah.
Because the outside perspective is better than your own.
Yeah.
You know the old phrase, it's always easier to point out everyone else's problems and tell them what to do than it is to see your own problems and tell yourself what to do. It's so much easier. It's like obvious to me what you should be doing with your life, and I see what you're good at, and I see what your faults are. It's hard if you're the person.
Right.
If you don't have outside perspective, people that are going to call you out on your blind spots and help you, and you don't allow it, it's going to be hard for you to grow and to reach
Sure.
your actual potential. And so, all my life, I've always had people tell me, whether it's teachers, parents, my kids' rave reviews, just whatever, anyone I know, random people, they'll be talking to me and say, "You sound like you have a good voice for radio, like Frasier or something." You know, like,
Right.
have you ever done that? You should do that. I think that's what you should do for a living. Or, you know, you're someone who you should be a writer. My English teacher said you should go to college, major in writing, and you should be a writer. That's what you should do. And I'm like, oh, cool, whatever.
Right.
To anyone that ever says things. But the older I get, I'm like, oh man, life's just life, right?
Right.
But the moments I enjoy the most is telling those stories to my kids every single night. I love to embellish and build
Absolutely,
it up.
dude.
Makes me so happy, and I ham it up, and I really get into characters, and I flesh them out, and the stories are just absurdly over the top, and kids love it, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I'm like, you know what? The most fun I've had in the past several years, is when I'm doing that stuff.
Absolutely.
Is whenever I'm writing, speaking, basically everyone else was right. I was wrong about myself. Everyone else is right. It is what I'm good at, and it is what I like. It's what makes me happy.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying, like, I got a job. I'm not saying that just because you have a job, it's like, I'm not saying I hate my job. Talk for a living at my job.
Right.
All I do is help people and talk to people all day. Pretty good for me, because that's what I'm going to do anyways, even if you don't ask.
Right, yeah.
I'm just going to talk anyway. So it doesn't matter, but...
Yeah.
So anyways, I think it's all about, what I finally learned is you stay humble, you do your best. You can still do a good job of what you're doing, but you shouldn't give up your dreams. You can do those on the side. And I know we were talking off air earlier. I was giving you a little story I read on the internet about the co-founder of Netflix. So I'll go ahead and repeat that real quick.
For sure.
So I'm on LinkedIn the other day, and the co-founder of Netflix just wanted to share with everyone how he started the business. And the basic idea was, don't get in your own way. Stop stopping yourself, as
Right.
Using your words. So he said, me and the other guy that co-founded Netflix were on the way to like some business meeting or conference, and it was about their idea for the business and how to do it. But on the way, they just had this random idea come across their head. And how many ideas do people have and never pursue, right?
Right.
But they had this idea like, what if I just bought a CD and mailed it to someone? Could you mail a CD to someone? Could that be a thing? So anyways, instead of going to the conference, they're like, let's stop and do this idea right now.
For sure.
They turned around, they went to a local music store, they bought a CD, they bought an envelope and a stamp, they mailed it to one of their houses, said it cost them like $2 to mail it. So a CD, $17 total or something at that point in time? If
Yeah,
you're
for
buying-
sure.
CDs don't exist anymore, but you know, they were
Right.
like $15 a piece. So like $17, under $20. And it took 2 days to get there, and they told themselves, it worked. We can mail things in 2 days. And Netflix was founded. And that was the beginning of That's how it started. It was just
For
a
sure.
random idea and a car ride, and that's what they rolled with.
Right.
Now look at it. So
But they had started, it sounds to me like they were pursuing a business of their dreams, and they didn't know what that business of their dreams were. And then all of a sudden it came to them at some point, right? Because that wasn't their first conference.
well, and here I think the major point of it was that they were busy building up the idea of what they were going to do. And an
Right.
idea can continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. The problem is the bigger it gets, the harder it is to start. And so
Right, true.
what his point was trying to be to people is they stopped the idea and they stopped building bricks to make this giant castle of a business and idea until it was so huge. How are you going to start a Fortune 500 company when you already envision it as the Fortune 500 company?
it's always been my problem.
They stopped. They just went and took the first step.
For
And
sure.
His point was, all y'all got ideas out there, and some of them are awesome. But since you just keep thinking of how the next step of that idea, and then you do the next 1,000 steps, and now this idea is so huge, you're like, I don't have financing, I can't hire that much staff, I don't know where I'll get the property and the rent and all that stuff to lease a property to do this business. Oh yeah, that's such a big idea, I can't do that.
For sure.
Whenever really you just had to take the first step, spend $2 and just try it out. Which I want to reiterate, I think what you're doing is awesome, and I am very proud to see what you've done with this podcast. Because you're doing that. You're already doing that. You took your idea and you just went with it. You just took the step. You bought the CD. You sent the envelope. You didn't just keep researching for 5 years trying to like, I'm going to start with a radio broadcasting company that's on par with Fox.
Right.
You know, like it's like you can't. You just have to take the first step. So anyways, I think that's awesome, and I think that everyone should pursue their dream and try and use their creative God-given talents, because you're right.
Yeah.
Everyone has completely different talents, but everyone has talents. And
For
you
sure.
you should utilize that. And so I'd like to do that. And the kid's story, I told my kids stories for probably 5 straight years, solid, of the exact same storyline. Same characters. Every episode was,
You said it was a saga.
it's basically Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not exactly a storyline, but you know the drill.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
5,000 episodes. Stuff happens. There's a fight.
Yeah.
Leave it on a cliffhanger right before the fight, even though the kids thought for sure I'm about to do the big fight, and they're like, "No, you have to keep going." But that's the way to do it, right? That's what makes a good story. So,
You got to, dude.
anyways, but yeah, I've been telling my kids stories about. We got a few different storylines. We're doing the mini unicorns right now. They're based off my children,
Okay, nice.
Eeny, Teeny, and Weenie.
Eeny, teeny, and weenie.
sister
Oh,
and
I
two
heard you
brothers.
tell that literally. You told that earlier to my daughters. I heard you go, eeny, teeny, and weenie, and I was like,
So they have a little mini unicorn in there. They have a
Right.
stuffed unicorn.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, I'm making a story about 3 mini unicorns. And they were like, the 3 mini unicorns, tell me.
Yeah,
And
yeah, for
already,
sure.
I know that's a good idea.
Absolutely, dude.
I got 2 people right there, because I'm not making that story for you and me.
Right.
The story is for kids.
But you're having fun doing it. And then here's the thing that happens is whenever you make that story and you come in here and you tell the story, your buddy turns, animates it, puts it on YouTube. You come in and do the audio version of it. We put it on Spotify, dude. Then guess what? Whenever we drive to Houston to see Justin or wherever we may go, or maybe after little baby brother's born here in November, and we need something to listen to, boom. Guess what? We're listening to Eeny, Teeny, and Weenie on Spotify because, that's the jam.
Want some good, humorous, family-friendly, but actually good stories. With some
Right.
depth, not just some, generic, there is no storyline. You can't make it bland just because it's for kids. It needs to be good.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
So
Yeah.
make some stories, episodic content that'll last for a long time that kids can continually listen to, and it lasts for a
sure.
very long time. Got
Hey.
three different storylines so far, so we got plenty of stuff to make.
I think this is what we ought to do. Because I've literally written stuff before for children's stories that I thought, I'll just put on Spotify, have a little soft background music behind it, and we'll be there for parents with something fun on a road trip or whatever it might be. Dude, I think we need to not necessarily set a deadline, because you don't want to set a deadline for when your mind can, create and come up with what you're thinking. But I think that we should set a goal of a time when you've got it ready and you could come in and lay down the audio for us to start cutting.
You guys are going to hear it eventually. No, I think I already had the idea. I was like, you know what? I know Ethan's got a dang good studio. I'm like, that would probably be the best thing to record.
Dude,
So I think it's a great idea.
how soon do you think you could have one episode?
The episode's already basically done. I mean, I already have every episode for 2 years.
Okay.
It's all in my head.
Okay.
So I have to actually get it out, write the exact words.
I'll make
or
you a
whatever,
deal. You
know.
you get the episode onto paper or onto an email and send it to me. I'll have the monitor back in here.
All right.
You come in here, let's do this thing, and I will have it out within a week.
That sounds like a deal to me.
Dude, test market, let's see it. We'll put it out to every parent that we know. I'm stoked on this. I'm so excited on this. I'm sorry for all of you that are like, I listen to Purvcast because they're adult men. No, we're fired up on making some stuff for y'all kiddos.
Well, don't worry, that's coming too.
Oh yeah. That'll get here. That'll get here too.
That's coming too.
For sure. That I'm so fired up on it though.
I think the adult content that people need to take away from this is, if you're listening to this, you already know what you're thinking in your head. You've already listened to us talk, and you had that swirling thing in the background of your head of the thing you really want to do or that you're interested in,
Right.
but that you deny yourself because you can't.
Right.
You tell yourself you can't.
For
You
sure.
don't have the resources.
I can't
know,
start where I
don't have
want
the
to.
time. You know, this is the first time I've been on the Purvcast in a long time because I've been living life doing things I had to do.
For sure.
And in life, there's two things. This is how I live my life. This is how I judge other people. This is how I observe other people's actions, and then, go from there. In life, you do what you need to do, or you do what you want to do. There's two different batches of things, right? Two buckets.
For sure.
So, if you need to do it, you don't have to do it, but it is a need. It's a need to do thing. So you'll do it. You did what you needed to because you had to. You don't always want to do what you need to do, but you still do it because you needed to. So it's not like you have to want to do it, but you needed to, so you did.
For sure.
Then there's the things you want to do. A lot of the things you wanted to do, you didn't need to do. You just wanted to do it, but you did it. So a lot of times people don't do the things they need to do because instead they do the thing they want to do. And I was taught growing up, Justin, this is my stepdad talking, he'd say, Justin, first you do the things you need to do. Then you can do what you want to do.
Right.
So go do what you need to do and stop that.
Yeah.
And I now realize he's absolutely right. He was telling me the truth the whole time, trying to help. So whenever you see people that if they're not, let's say that someone needs to talk to you, right? You need to talk to me. I don't talk to you. Well, you can judge that in two ways. You're like, did he need to talk to me? I guess he didn't need to, so he didn't. But if he also didn't talk to me, that means he also didn't want to. He didn't need or want to do it. Maybe I wanted to do it, but not bad enough to actually make time for it. So now you can judge people's priorities. There's a famous quote, and I don't know who said it, but it's like one of those Gandhi type things or something. He says, I like to let people do what they want to do. Let them do what they're going to do. Because if you let someone do what they're going to do, then you'll see what they wanted to do. You don't got to ask them, what action did they take? That's what they either needed or wanted, right?
True. Yeah. That's a very good point.
Now,
to that point, and I think relating to everything that we were talking about earlier, is we all know of and know people and see people where what they need to do and what they want to do intersect, and they become the same task.
And I think that's what the dream is. See,
That's
I
the dream.
think that's what we're even talking about. That's the
That's-
culmination.
That's the culmination of when what you're doing, and it's tough to simultaneously do what you need to do and what you want to do. It's very difficult to pursue both of those things at the same time, and that's why sometimes I'm like, damn, dude, like early in life, the only thing, like I alternated. I discovered what I wanted to do, which was marry my wife. And then I later on I discovered what I needed to do, which was find a job to provide, right? And then I did that, for years. And then I discovered, there's another what I want to do. And the two, the last step, providing, and what I want to do here
Can be the same thing.
can intersect, and I will provide both of those things while still having my initial dream of having my wife. So, but we know of so many people that do it, but how many people out there that are way more talented than I am went out and pursued it and jumped all over it and then ended up getting it, right? Which is a cool thing. So, dude, we're going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Get the story into a file that I can put on a screen for you, and I will sit right there and run producer for you to get your story on a recording.
We're going to do it.
Let's do it.
All right, so there is one thing I'm worried about.
Gotta happen. Okay.
We're going to make YouTube videos, right?
Yep.
So there's going to be YouTube shorts or YouTube videos of this content, which is great. So it almost seems insidious the way that some of these videos work on YouTube. A lot of people make videos for kids, and a lot of it's actually pretty good. A lot of it's not. It's just, but the videos never stop and kids don't change the channel. They just let videos play the next video.
Go and
autoplay.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, I have seen so many kids' videos, it's insane, right? Over this period of time. So I see what they are. And my kids get addicted to these videos. And the whole thing about just being addicted to social media and always wanting to be on the electronics so that you can see it, that's the only downside of something like this. But really, I'm just using this so I can segue into another thing. So, apart from the kid stories,
okay,
I want to get on the I want to talk about social media for a second.
Yeah.
All right, so on the way over here, I called 911. I literally saw a car wreck right on Sunshine Street while I'm coming here, and there's like this Honda Civic or something that crashes into the back of a Hummer so hard that all the airbags go off. The Hummer is actually on the roof, not the roof, is on the hood. On the hood, it's like sitting on the hood. The tires are in the air, just spinning, but they're not going anywhere.
Right.
And so anyways.
That's insane.
So I'm just like driving by watching it, the tires are spinning, and I'm like, no one's stopping. I'm like, that person's hurt. Like the person the person that did the rear ending, you couldn't even see their windows. It's just airbag. And I'm like, at least that hit him right in the face. So they're going to want someone to come check them out. And so I called 911, did that.
For sure.
And all I could think was, I bet they were on their phone.
Yep.
Scrolling, watching videos of the Purvcast, liking it and leaving comments while they're driving.
Right.
So I wanted to remind the audience.
Now I feel guilty.
Be responsible whenever you're following the Purvcast. Please, not while you're driving, because I saw not one. Not less than 1 mile later, I'm not even to West Bypass yet, and on Sunshine, there's another rear-end collision in the same lane of Sunshine and head in the same direction. So anyways,
watching the same video.
But this is just my problem with social media. So I recently got off of social media, and I was on there a minute. I felt bad. Because I was like, man, now I'm not going to be able to share content. I wanted to be able to help you share content for the podcast and things of this nature, because I don't use it for anything else. I'm sorry, everyone I know, but I just don't really care what's, I don't want to see all your pictures and stuff. And like, I mean, I'm sure it's cool for you and your family or something, but like,
it's a waste of time.
I don't care to waste my time on social media.
For sure.
I have a life, and it's not on my phone on social media.
Yeah.
But anyways, my point is, there is a whole trend right now, and I don't know if you heard of this, but I read it on LinkedIn, where Gen Z, it's big on Gen Z.
We got 4 minutes.
All right, so it's big for Gen Z right now to do something called bed rotting. So have you heard of bed rotting?
Ooh, hey, hold on. Do you want to... I feel like bed rotting is going to be a topic.
It's going to be a thing.
Maybe we should stop this, restart it, and then jump into it. What do you think?
Let's do it.
I could splice these videos pretty good.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do that, dude.
Do it.
Because this is going to be a thing. I've actually got a couple comments. I think are going to be pretty funny. So I think it's going to take a minute.
All right, let's take a break.
Let's do it.
Get back in here. It's the Purvcast.
There you go.
Yeah.
That works, dude.
I'm repping the shirt.
Yeah, repping the shirt. That works. Yeah. Everybody knows it's the Purvcast, special edition. By the way, actually, this is what I'm actually missing. We jumped right into real, topic and discussion. Everybody knows Mr. Justin Cox back in here to the pod as a guest.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and hopefully, like, have you back in here regularly. Kind of gotten some things, running in a fluid motion in life, so that hopefully we'll get you back in here like more often now. Because you were starting out like
it's kind of what we've been talking about.
For sure,
it's one of those things.
Yeah, it's one of those things that just like, hey, you're just waiting for it to fall into line, and then like it's going to be there. Mm-hmm. Here it is. All right, we got Mr. Justin Cox, aka COCKS Cox.
I did not know where you're going with that. I'm like, there ain't AKA nothing. What's he gonna say? Like, what?
Well, there's so many different ways I could have gone with that, dude. I just didn't, But it's all fun. So glad to have you in here, Cox. Glad to have you in here, and
glad to be here.
Stoked to have you in here. A lot from here on out, especially going into football season, right? Which we're not even going to touch on tonight because there's going to be a lot of football talk coming up in later in the weeks.
I do want to say, but maybe one thing. Have you been watching Receiver on Netflix?
No, I haven't. Not yet.
So good. Okay, you know who I'm in love with? Sounds weird. I did. you know what character I really like? All right, yeah. But George Kittle's the bomb, man. What a great guy.
I always thought George Kittle was awesome. For sure.
As a human being, man, he is awesome.
He's just squared away.
He's the most positive. He's the most positive influence in everyone's life that he comes into contact with, even himself.
For sure.
That guy, he's been an inspiration. I've been learning from him. I'm watching and I'm like, I need to be like George Kittle.
Absolutely,
That's someone I would model myself off of. Like, wow. I am like, I cannot believe how calm. Not even calm. He gets fired up. He's a fun guy.
Right.
He likes to have fun. He likes to be emotional and all that. But man, he
has morals and
he won't be negative.
For sure.
He will not. He will not. He has never negative self-talk to him. Never negative to anyone else, no matter how bad they're doing. He always is uplifting. He's
for
a
sure.
Great team player. It's just everything about him. He's inspirational. So
yeah, I've seen him on
out there about pursuing your dreams and all this. Like,
yeah.
He actually kind of kick-started something in me where I'm like, he's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna George Kittle this shit.
I can do this. Yeah. Yeah.
You ever see the clip where he lost the Super Bowl to the Chiefs in 2019? They show it in the show, but he's on the sideline. He goes, "I will be here again. This is not the end for me. I will be here, and I will be back with a fucking vengeance." And he got back last year.
That's true.
But that's how he lives his life.
That's awesome.
And anyway, I just thought it was cool. So back to social media.
Yeah. Is that? Oh shit!
Just punt it.
Punt it, dude.
Football joke.
All right, here we go. So, yes, you saw that on social media. Love George Kittle. Niners, pretty gay, but like, I'm big on Kittle. You know what I'm saying? All right, dude. So, actually, this is gonna be. Maybe this is a segment. This is called Rapid Fire Cox. You ready?
I mean, I'm just gonna keep all the jokes
on that's
on the inside.
That's all I said. That's
what a Cox does.
That's all. That's what it does. I thought you said you're keeping them on the inside, dude.
I got you.
All right, here we go, dude. What do you got? I have a list here. Okay, and what we're gonna do is this segment is gonna be Mr. Justin Cox going rapid fire on 3 different topics, and I cannot wait to hear. I think maybe only one topic I'm going to jump in on, because
jump in however you please,
because I do have some information, but I want to hear you rock and freaking roll on these 3 things. Okay. The only stipulation is Gypsy Blanchard has to go last.
Yep.
Because I do have a little bit to throw in there. Okay. But I want you to fire and shoot. It's just not as fast as you can, but just, I'm not going to interrupt. This is you. This is you rocking and rolling. This is Cox rock and roll. All right? Cox and roll. That's what this is. You ready for this?
I'm ready. Let's get hard.
We love this topic. All right. Actually, and on YouTube, I might actually like throw in some freaking music, but I don't know. Maybe. But 3 topics. Bed rot, Gen Z. Topic 2, TikTok, 32, Idiocracy, Neuralink, Simple Jack. Topic 3, Gypsy. How bad did I mess it up?
He didn't mess it up. It just sounds. It's like
It does.
What is that about?
TikTok 32, Idiocracy, Neuralink, Simple Jack. Like, what the helmet could that be about?
Single idea.
Oh, it's single. That's one topic. That's not multiple topics, right?
That's right.
Topic number 3 is Gypsy Blanchard. Okay. Justin Cox. I cannot wait to hear what you have to say. Send it, dog.
So I spend an inordinate amount of time thinking about things like this in my head.
Okay.
I love to get on LinkedIn, and I love to just read all the headlines.
Who the hell does
stories.
LinkedIn for social media? I'm sorry, I'm done after that.
I don't do social media. All right. I deactivate. I straight up deleted, not just like put it on pause. I deleted Facebook and Instagram and every form of social media because I just don't care. And I don't want to do it. All right. I just don't want to do it. So it's gone. So I don't really have social media, but for my work, I'm on LinkedIn every day. It's part of my job.
True.
So I'm like, there's these good stories. What's this story about? That seems interesting. Anyways, so I get these. I love to do this, and then I just go off my own world, and I have no one to talk to. I just sit there and think about it myself and go into my own ether. So anyways, here's my things. So I'm on LinkedIn, and it says, trend with Gen Z is bed rot. I'm like, the hell is bed rot, and what are they talking about? I'm like, all right, I got to see what this is. So apparently there's a trend right now with Gen Z people where they are going on their social media and you just set up your phone or camera or whatever, as if we're doing this pod, and you lay in bed from sunup till sundown. And you don't get out for anything. Maybe to go to the bathroom. But like you eat in bed, you lay in bed, and it's supposed to be a form of life sucks so bad and I've got it so bad. Like, oh, life's just so hard. That you lay in bed for 24 hours. It's almost like the ice bucket challenge type stuff. Like you just lay in bed for 24 hours a day. But why the hell do you have to record it? Like, who gives a shit? No one wants to see that shit. But the problem is everyone in Gen Z apparently wants to watch each other do this bullshit. And it's just, what the hell are we doing?
Not even recording. Sounds like live streaming?
They are live streaming. They're live streaming themselves doing it. So apparently it's a big thing right now. And what you're supposed to do is you go into your bed, you set up your camera, and then you lay there and you have to wail, you have to bemoan and belabor like how terrible everything is for you. Like, oh my God, the other day I went to watch Netflix and my daddy was already watching a TV show. And like, I couldn't find the TV remote to change the channel. And I didn't want to get up and like walk over there and press the button myself. So I just went to bed. I'm going to lay here all day. And like, it's the dumbest shit you ever saw or ever heard. Like, but this is what people are doing.
For sure. I can make your bed rot.
I can make your bed. Hey, nice. I like that. That was good. So,
Lil Wayne.
So I don't know. It's just, to me, I thought that was the weirdest thing. Like, what is going on? Why? First off, this just means you are actually very depressed, right? Like something's wrong with you if you stay in bed for 24 hours a day. It's not even good for your back or anything. You will be more sore. It's actually not good, scientifically proven, to lay in bed beyond a certain amount of time. It's bad for your body.
Right. It's not a trend. It's a chemical issue.
Yeah, this is not a cool trend. Why
Right.
does anyone think this is a cool... Why is this being promoted? Like, people want to do this. They'll be like, I'm doing it too. I'm a bed rotter. Right? Like, it's stupid. So, anyways, people are bed rotting. Their skin is falling off. You know what I bet? I used to deliver pizza for Domino's, as you know, because you did too. And I remember this lady... I don't know her name. Good thing. I can't remember it off the receipt.
Yeah.
I won't call her out regardless. But there's a lady at 620 West Scott. And you know, whenever you get a delivery at 620 West Scott, you're like, no. Because it's like, all right, you're not going to get a tip.
No.
It's a one-bedroom apartment for people that can't afford to live anywhere else. And I don't think half of them can actually physically take care of themselves. Like someone has to monitor them or something.
And what is it? Like 2 to 3 full pizzas for one person?
So this lady would always order like chicken wings, a lava cake, and one of those freaking sandwiches. She'd always get one of the sandwiches. That's what she got. I will never forget her. I will never forget this.
I will never forget you.
Because she was like, it was like my 600-pound life. I
Right.
mean, she was like 600 pounds. She was bedridden. She was bed rot.
Right.
She could not even get out of bed to do things.
She wasn't doing it for a fad.
And I remember that she smelled exactly like the smell of banana peppers whenever you're on the line making a pizza. So, like, it just smelled like banana peppers.
So vinegar,
it's the vinegary stank that comes from every orifice and crevice of Shamu's bed rotting.
yeah.
So
what, you trying to ruin banana peppers for me, dude? I ate like
it ruined it for me. I literally have not eaten banana peppers since. I was like, I can't do banana peppers anymore. I don't eat banana peppers because every time I see them and smell them, like I think of 620 West Scott and the stank.
Oh my gosh, dude. Dad,
so that's bed rot. I have a question for you.
What's up?
What's the longest amount of time you ever stayed in bed? Like, have you personally ever bed rotted? Have you ever been so down you bed rotted?
Down? No. Sick? Yes. I had food poisoning. Yes, it was earlier this year. Food poisoning or stomach flu. It's the worst. It's the most sick I've ever been in my life. I'd say I was probably in bed for 24 hours, and I would sneak sips of water. I was so thirsty. I was so hungry.
Hiding from someone?
Yeah.
Why'd you have to sneak it?
My wife said if I drink water again, she's going to kill me.
She's going to rot the shit out of my bed.
Yeah.
I told Percy I'd do this.
I told Percy I'd do this. I told Percy I wouldn't drink no more water.
Sorry to bogart your story.
No, you're good. Honestly, no. That sickness, that would be the time that I did it.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just put this right here. So,
Yeah.
I got a story for you. So just
Okay.
and then we'll move on. Sickest I ever been, bed rot.
Yep.
COVID came out end of 2019, early 2020. So
Okay. I did have a long day when that happened. Sorry.
no one knew about COVID yet. Like, no one's like, oh, I think I have COVID. Like, everyone wasn't
Right.
on that COVID train yet. Like, if you got sick, you still thought you're just sick.
Right.
You weren't like, oh,
Yeah,
I might have COVID. Like,
Oh,
no,
might have the flu.
it was too soon for that.
Right. Got
Anyways.
a cold.
So I was working at this place. We had a 5K the next day, and I
Good day to get
I was one of the people. No, I was putting it on. Yeah, I was the person responsible for going to putting up the signs. Like, I orchestrated it all. I got this event planned and whatever. Me and a couple of people. Like, I was one of the main people for like 5 straight years doing it.
Yeah, bad time.
So, anyways, we're gonna do the 5K in the morning. So that that night, I just woke up and I was in a pool of sweat, and my back is like soaking wet in my butt, and just my legs, like everything's so soaking wet. And I'm like, I just woke up. I don't know. It's like pitch black. I don't know what time it is, but I'm soaked.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, so squishy kind of. And then I realized, like, I turned on the light. I had shit the bed with pure diarrhea. And it was, I mean, the whole bed, my whole entire half of like a king size bed was just brown, green, like liquefied shit. Just, I shit the whole fucking thing. And so, anyways, it's the most disgusting thing ever. I've never been so sick. So, we're not done.
Guys, we'll see you next week on the Purvcast.
So I was like, oh no. So there's someone else in the bed with me, and I had to be like, I had to wake him up. I had to be like, hey, I shit the bed. You know, like, I did it. I shit the whole bed.
I did what I told you I'd never do.
And you promised me you wouldn't do this ever. I'm like, I swear I'll never do it again. So I had to wake her up.
But I was asleep.
And so I wake her up. We do all the laundry. I shower, get completely cleaned up. I'm like, what the F just happened? Like, I wasn't sick yesterday. I don't even feel sick. Like, why did I just do that? Like, this is gross. I've never done that in my life.
This ain't me.
So then I'm like, all right, I'm going back to bed. So we go back to bed. It's like 45 minutes at this point. So I go back to bed. Dude, I woke up an hour later. Man, I woke up, my back was so sweaty. I was like a sweaty Freddy, dude. And then I'm like, oh no, this is mushy. I got up and turned on the lights. And now, mind you, we put new sheets. new undersheets, new regular sheets, new blankets, new everything.
For sure.
I shit the bed again. I mean, just as much the whole entire half of the bed. I had to wake her up twice. I had to wake her up again and be like, I'm so sorry, I shit the bed. She's like, you promised you would never do it again.
You said you never do it once, and you did it twice.
I know, I'm just so full of shit. I'm sorry. Or empty. But, all right, so, no, that's a legit story. I legit did that. I shit the bed twice in one night. I've never even done it in my life, but it did twice in the same night. And this is, it's embarrassing to say, but I'm going to do it. So, got cleaned up. Put brand new sheets and blankets on every single part of the bed again. Showered up. My kids were still in diapers at the time. I went and got one of my kids' diapers, put it inside my underwear, like a big ass fat maxi pad. And I didn't even sleep on the bed because I wasn't going to tell her 3 times I'm waking you up. I laid on the carpet by myself with a pillow and a diaper. And whenever I woke up, I had not pooped the bed. I was a good boy. So
hey, that's all you had to do because you just didn't want to have to change your own diaper.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. So that's my bed rot story. But it's just weird what people do with social media. So now I'm going to go to the next point. TikTok, I read this on LinkedIn. TikTok just came out with a new group chat feature. And they're saying they're trying to go against WhatsApp and they're trying to go against iPhone and the iMessage platform and things and let people do group chats and they want more engagement with people. Apparently in TikTok, if you want to, like, you have to tag people and do this and that to share video or whatever. I don't know, and I don't really care.
Right.
But now you can do 32 people group chats.
Can I say this? TikTok sucks. They suck. They are so whatever. You cannot say anything. You can't use licensed material that doesn't belong to them.
But you can.
No, you can't.
Stream yourself bed rotting.
Oh yes.
You don't have to say
true.
anything.
And unless you are licensed your bed rot, I can make your bed rot. If it's licensed by somebody else, you can't do it.
Unless someone is shitting their bed twice in one night, I don't want to watch them bed rot.
That's right, yeah. But the thing is, Pampers, you can't have Pampers on TikTok because they don't own Pampers. You know what I'm saying? So, sorry, TikTok sucks, but they just suck.
So TikTok's now making a 32-person group chat.
Hold on, can I say this real quick?
Yeah.
TikTok.
Don't stop.
Sucks.
Make it rock on the clock.
Ass. If you're making your living on TikTok, you have sold out, you have no soul, and you're obviously not having any morals or sharing any actual opinions because any opinions or anything that is not manipulated and cohesive with the Chinese government, you get shut the hell down. So, if you're a big star for TikTok, you're a big star for the Chinese government, and that makes you a piece of shit.
So make sure you like and follow us on TikTok for the Purvcast.
Yeah. Well, I keep getting shut down on TikTok, so that I'm kind of pissed right now. I'm actually very pissed. I went from like thousands to 70. So I'm pretty pissed. Yeah.
You should get 32 of those people and form a group chat, and you guys can talk all about it.
Ooh!
I'm just saying. You can
lay in our beds.
You can lay in your beds. All 32 of you can just live stream each other.
What if we all 32 just like freaking...
You can share videos, and you can scissors.
Jenga?
You can scissors and make the
scissors?
force. I heard that on one of the previous episodes.
What if all... the what?
You could scissors and make the force.
Oh, yeah. That'd be sick. What about
32 scissors?
If all 32 of us just like Jenga on a king-size bed?
That's 64 legs.
Right.
To get all like wrapped up in.
Yeah, heaven forbid somebody goes your route and they're like, hey guys, I'm pretty sweaty, but it feels kind of squishy.
So these 32 people can do a group chat, right?
Let's do this.
32 people could do a group chat and whatever. I don't even know 32 people that I talk to.
Right.
On a regular basis. I mean, I have acquaintances, but I don't even know 32 people I could talk to. Like, who knows 32 people that want to be in a group chat? And what do you talk about with 32 people at the same time? Now, it's not a big deal. Who cares? I just think it's weird because we are getting close to Idiocracy. The movie Idiocracy. Have you seen the movie Idiocracy? If you haven't, watch it. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. If you guys have not seen the movie Idiocracy, pretty sure it's Mike Judge, the guy who makes Beavis and Butthead and The Simpsons, by the way.
And
things
King of
like
the
that.
Hill.
Yeah,
Yep.
King of the Hill.
Yep.
The dude, he has
I
premonition.
know he made it. I have not seen it, though.
That guy knows the future 20, 30 years before it happens. He just has foresight. He predicted Donald Trump would be president. Like all these things in The Simpsons 25 years ago type things. So, anyways, he makes a movie, Idiocracy, and it's basically about how people turn into such consumerism, and we rely so much on media, our phones, entertainment, and all we want to do is watch TV. We devolve into like just dumb people that don't think type thing. So, anyways, I think the next stop, here's what's going to happen. The next stop after the 32 group chat and all the push for social media, eventually they're just going to have you're just going to implant a Neuralink. You might as well just glue the phone to your face. Just glue it to your eyeballs and just never stop.
Sure.
They're making augmented reality glasses from Google, and Ray-Ban already has some Meta glasses, so you can get Ray-Ban Meta glasses that put the screen on your eyeballs. It's already here. We already have Oculuses and VR headsets. So what's going to happen is TikTok and all these other things are going to infuse themselves. They're just going to put Neuralink in people's heads. You're going to Wi-Fi or Bluetooth sync up your phone to your Neuralink, and we're just going to sit there like fucking babbling idiots. No one's even going to say words. You ever see, like, my brothers are all younger than me. I'm the oldest, and so, like, I see them with their friends whenever I was growing up. Like, whenever they were growing up, I was already an adult. They don't even talk to each other. They just text each other on their phones in the same room, sitting on the couch. They're having a conversation, not saying a damn word. They just text each other from 2 feet away.
Makes me sick.
So that's what it's going to be.
Yep.
Everyone's going to have Neuralink, and you're going to install it to your TikTok, and then everyone's going to be sitting there just like not actually talking to each other, but every once in a while you'll see one person be like,
Yeah, and a little bit, why are you moving?
they're laughing in their head at the Neuralink TikTok thing that got shared by their 32 friends or some bullcrap. Like, the advertisements just streaming straight to your brain. You're just going to be scrolling and laughing like an idiot, like Simple Jack. It'll make you happy. And that's that's how I envision the future. I envision that eventually we're going to get to that point where you're going to have technology be so out of control. And the people are literally going to be like laying in their bed rotting with their VR headset on, hooked up to their Neuralink, scrolling TikTok, and they're not even going to be using their hands or legs, just giggling. And they won't even be talking to their friends, but they're like, this is social interaction.
Right.
Live stream the whole thing. This is the future of entertainment.
And that's actually why it's so important for you and I to put out stories on Spotify for kiddos to listen to while they go walk through the woods or go on a car ride. And instead of like being on this VR freaking Happy Billy or whatever you said.
Exactly.
You know, like
Simple Jack.
Yeah. Like, listening and picturing things in their imagination. Like, that's why that's going to be so important. Like, to continue to do those things and fight against that, that's going to be the important thing. Because then guess what? The kiddos that ended up listening to stories growing up instead of bed rotting, those are going to be the only people contributing to society. They're also going to be the only ones successful. They're going to be the ones that like succeed and have money and resources and things available to them because they have social skills, and the ones that are preserved and held back from this social brain rot of media poisoning, those are going to be the ones that thrive. Now it's harder, it's tougher, it's more work to go like, no, okay, all right, I'm actually going to like physically participate with you so that you're better in the future. But at that point, guess what? They're going to be the studs of society. Because they didn't bed rot.
So the only bad thing is it's kind of like nowadays you have to embrace social media and those type of platforms if you want to make it. If you want to actually be successful,
Right.
make money, get rich. Like
I think there's a
everyone
happy
wants to
medium,
do it.
though.
Of course, like anything, it's moderation, right?
For sure.
But I think I have a better idea for how to make money.
Okay, what's that? Is this where Gypsy
This
Blanchard
is my
comes into-
Gypsy Rose Blanchard idea.
Yes.
So last night, my wife is like, hey, I want to watch something on Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And I'm like, okay. Like, so we're looking on Netflix, Amazon Prime, all these things. dude, she's got something on everything. All right, there's a Netflix, there's a movie, there's a series on Hulu, there's a series on Amazon Prime. Wife are looking for stuff to watch on Gypsy Blanchard. And she's like, yeah, she just got out of prison. She's like, do you know, yeah, she's like a millionaire now. And I'm like, wait, tell me more about that. I'm like, what? So did you know Gypsy Blanchard is raised by her mom, who puts her in a wheelchair. It's Munchausen syndrome by proxy. That's where you don't make yourself sick. The mom made her kids sick and lied about ailments. She got a free house from Habitat for Humanity by telling them that her daughter was like disabled and sick and stuff and dying.
Yeah.
No, it was a normal girl. It was a normal girl she put in a wheelchair and made her pretend to be sick.
Yep.
So
Convinced her that she was ill.
yeah, so it never really happened that way. So this girl's like suffering from that type of abuse, right? Like technically, you know, it's like neglecting them. I mean, like it'd be messed up to be raised by someone like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so in fact, it messes you up so bad that she went and got this low IQ boyfriend who she then convinced to go stab her mother to death with a knife that she gave him. And that guy's still in prison for 25 more years. Gypsy's out. Guess how much time served for getting her mother for having her own mother murdered? Even if she had her reasons, which she now says she regrets, and you shouldn't do that. So
Is it,
nice to hear. But how many years in prison do you think she spent?
I'm going to guess 6.
7. Very good guess. She spent 7 years in prison. Guess how much money she's worth right now? Guess how much money she's made in the last 7 years?
All right, so
While in prison doing nothing.
so I know a little bit about this, which I will expand on here in a moment. But
$3 million.
geez, Louise.
In 7 years, she now has $3 million. She has multiple TV shows, a movie, a book. She has a book. Books have been written about her. Now she has one that it's her book that someone helped her write. So she has all these things, and a lot of people really are into her and like her and want to support her. They buy her, they watch her movies, they buy the things, they whatever. Right? So that's why she has $3 million.
Bless you.
So this got me to thinking. I haven't made $3 million in my life so far, and I'm almost 40 years old.
Right.
So I was thinking,
Do you want to be my sick little boy?
if someone said, hey man, let's pretend this is a 100% guaranteed deal, it will happen.
Right.
There's no like maybe or not. It's not a trick. You get $3 million, but you have to you got to go to jail for 7 years. Would you be like, okay, I'll do it? Would you, for $3 million? That is enough money that you can be set up pretty much. You just be smart with your money. Give it to your brother. You know, you'll be set up for the rest of your life. You can make sure your kids have something down the road. Their kids have something like that perpetually. That can be generational wealth. It can set you guys up forever. You can think how big and good this could be. $3 million. I'll pay you $3 million. It's a 7-year investment. If I said, hey, I have this investment vehicle, 7-year waiting time, $3 million is the net outcome. You invest $0 today, and you get $3 million in 7 years. Who wouldn't say yes?
Question.
Yes.
Hate to bring this up.
Mm-hmm.
This is me being a skeptic and a bit jaded. Is it taxed before or after? That makes a difference.
It is taxed.
So that turns out to be about $1.50.
It's taxed.
Okay.
It's
so
gonna be taxed.
we're looking at a bit. Okay, so it's $3 million before tax. So probably about $1.5 million after tax.
Yep.
Okay.
It's gonna be taxed. I can't stop the government.
True.
There's loopholes. There's ways to get around things.
Right. I'm at $3 million.
Wait, time out. She's worth $3 million after tax. So let's say after.
Okay, how about
She has that money, and she paid taxes.
okay?
Right? So
okay,
you are worth you get $3 million in your bank.
okay. So she was worth
million.
$6 in her situation. Every time, absolutely.
In her situation.
In her situation, every time.
In your situation.
In my situation,
Hard. You got a family and kids to think about.
I'm not taking 7 years away from my kids.
Not even for $3 million. It's for your kids.
No, because
Ethan,
I
it's
think
for the kids. Do you want your kids growing up, laying in their bed, live streaming and bed rotting? Because if you are poor, that is what your kids are going to do. Be addicted to social media. They're going to be crashing into Hummers and rear-ending them. They're going to be bed rotting. They're going to be talking about it with all 32 friends through their Neuralink on TikTok. and they're going to be like, Daddy,
Is
why are we poor? And you'll be like, because I
I'm-
didn't want the money. I don't like money.
because I'm here.
That's right.
Or I could be like, whenever I get out, they're like, so your daughter's on heroin. And I'm like, why? And they're like, well, you were gone for the last 7 years.
Or you go to prison, you come back, you have $3 million, and then a couple years later, they're like, sir, your daughter's on heroin. And you're like, why? Because she's so rich. Yeah. She just has nothing else to do, and she's just buying heroin.
She just got the money.
I don't think you had a choice. See, I'm trying to squeeze you into like only one option here.
You're trying to squeeze me. Now, I understand. Like, I think it's definitely contingent. Like, there's definitely... All right, I know what you want me to say.
It's $3 million, dude.
I know what you want me to say.
Okay. Listen, you can either go work your regular job. Like me, for instance, I can go work my regular job over the next 7 years. I mean, dude, I can work the rest of my life at this wage. I ain't going to get $3 million.
Right.
For a long time. I mean, I'll work. So do I want to work my whole entire life? And I'm not even really going to be able to stop working. I'm not even really going to be able to retire. I mean, I will, but I'm just the average person like everybody else. And I'm not going to have that much. Maybe just a little bit. Maybe a little bit. I can survive. I got first world problems, but I'm still good.
Right.
But, or all I got to do is just go to prison for 7 years. And you're telling me in 7 years I have $3 million? Dude, I won't even be 50 yet. Just if someone's like, hey, dude, you woke up, you're 47 years old, you got $3 million in the bank. Are you happy? I'd be like, hell yeah. They're like, you just got out of prison. You've been in there 7 years. I'd be like, ooh, well, but how much you say I got? Right. I'm just saying, like, I like my kids, right? I'm just saying, but.
Oh, boy. This could go.
Think about the things you could do.
Think about the children's books.
Think about the amount of children's stories I could publish with $3 million. By the time I got out in 7 years,
Think about my children's books of prison stories.
Dude, like for real though. After inflation in 7 more years, though, they might be like, "Sir, you still can't. You don't qualify for this house."
They might be like,
still don't make enough money.
So that's about half your car insurance.
Well, I just thought that was interesting. Is it not weird that we live in a world where, like, I know it's messed up and most people have morals, but a lot of people don't.
Right.
A lot of people don't. So for a lot of you listening out there, I think I'm talking to you because not everyone has kids. Not everyone's married. If you're a young, single man or woman who doesn't have kids right now and you don't even really care or respect yourself,
Go to prison.
like, do you ever find yourself live streaming yourself bed rotting in bed? What better do you have to do?
Go to prison.
Why not? If I was like, you could get $3 million. Here's what you got to do, though. You can't just like go to prison, right?
Right.
You have to do a crime, but it can't be too bad of a crime. It's got to be a crime that's Netflix worthy or Amazon Prime Video stream worthy. It's got to
be unique.
Unique, wrinkles to it. It's trouble,
sure.
but it's not too much trouble.
For sure.
You can't really kill someone.
No.
Don't go Jeffrey Dahmer. If you go Jeffrey Dahmer, you went way too far.
What if you have like I have a neighbor that has like 6 dogs, and then like what you did was slowly like over time.
Antifreeze.
No, dogs just started.
Oh.
Dogs just started disappearing.
I went the wrong way.
Well, no, we're kind of going that way.
Okay.
But here's the thing: like the dogs just start. This is going to be really heinous. The dogs just start disappearing, and the next thing you know, like all of a sudden, like you've opened up like a cashew chicken restaurant, like out of your garage.
And Ethan, I did not.
You know what I mean?
I did not see this coming. Oh my!
But then you go like, hey, we're only open like one day a month, okay? And then over the next 6 months, next thing you know, your neighbors are like, our dogs are gone. They've just disappeared over the last 6 months. No, honestly, and they're gone.
This is actually gold. This is gold because that's not too big of a crime. It's not. You didn't do anything to people.
No.
Animal cruelty. Okay, people can complain about animal cruelty, but let's be real. We kill animals and eat them all the time.
Well,
I'm just saying.
For sure. And who doesn't go eat freaking Chinese food all the time?
I do. And so even if you
sure.
got in trouble, dude, you ain't getting 7 years for that. For killing some dogs and feeding them to people?
No, but... I'm giving you the intro to outro info, which is a fun little ring to it. But now that the intro is done, now we're just into outro info. Presenting the outro info this week is our esteemed guest, somebody that we have missed for a while. Stoked to have him back in. Can't wait to be making some kid stories with him. Mr. Justin Cox. Dude, give us the outro info because we are headed out. Give us the info.
All right, on your way out, going to teach you one more thing that you might not know. Grant had said it an episode or two ago about how in Sudan they had some pyramids in the Nile River. He was mentioning some things. So I was reading the other day, scientists have been taking like some seismic, whatever, like counters that can go down to the ground with their sound waves or whatever, and they can reveal what's underneath the sand, right?
Right.
So they've actually discovered that the Nile River, they can tell that the river used to run a different way and that sand is now built up over where the river used to run. And they think they know how the pyramids were actually built. Now, Grant had alluded to, maybe aliens gave technology, and it's not a fact, just saying speculation. So
Right.
now they have a new speculation where they're saying, actually, the Nile River, they have found that under the sand, the Nile River ran right by the pyramids, and there's even underground pyramids buried under the sand that were built along the river, many more than they ever thought. And they think that this is how they built the pyramids. They used boats and the power of water to transport things over long distances. People didn't just tie ropes and drag it for 1,000 miles.
Right, yeah.
Like they had a river and they
For
put
sure.
it on big boats and they floated it down rafts. And then
They could
took
have
the blocks.
rechanneled it too. Yeah.
Who knows? So anyways, I guess over a long period of time and years and years and years, the river now runs a new course. But you can tell by sedimentary whatever and scientific stuff where it used to be. And they actually have found structures buried underneath all that sand to where if you do a lot of excavating, apparently there might be some pyramid structures and stuff down there. So I just thought that was very interesting. If no one knew that, there's more pyramids than you think. And the pyramids were probably, in theory, built by people that were leveraging the power of the Nile River to do all the transportation and help them with all the labor.
That's insane. You know, if you think about it, whenever we go fishing, right, up to Warsaw, and you look, right, so you know where the dam is.
That's where the fish hit.
That's where the fish
Where
hit.
the fish hit his head.
Yep, over there at the dam. But then whenever we go over there and like where the dock is, right, what we call the backwater,
Yep.
that's the original channel.
Really?
So we built this other channel and built the dam there, and then we closed off the old channel. So my point in saying that is it's absolutely not unreasonable that they could have redirected the channel of the Nile to get things to where they needed to be.
That would have been a massive undertaking, but I'm not even going to go down that road.
Massive undertaking.
That
However,
was very wide, very big.
very wide, very big. Still potential. Like, they could have done that. However,
It's the greatest river in all the world. There is no river greater than this.
there
It is the best river. It's
It's-
very big, very the best.
it's the very biggest river. It's huge.
It's huge.
big.
It's huge.
It's
can't
better than the others. The water's the freshest unless it's not. But the pyramids under, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's fascinating.
That's what I'm interested in.
That's
More stuff will come out in the future, but I always thought there were only like 3 big pyramids. I don't know, but apparently there's a whole bunch of them.
yeah. Well, and then we were talking about pyramids in like Sudan, I believe, is what we were talking about, and there were more in Sudan, like 10 times more in Sudan than there are in Egypt, which is crazy, which is wild.
You know who's got more pyramids than Sudan?
Periods.
You know who has more pyramids than Sudan?
Who?
Coop.
Coop.
Because it's a Sudan.
Oh,
It's so stupid.
you.
It was very weak. It was. It was very weak. It was extremely weak, man.
No, I dig it. I dig it, dude. Actually, I like it. that being said,
Well, that's the only informative nugget of information that I personally had.
okay. How about this, dude? Cap it off. You got a dad joke.
I worry I might have said some of these before. All right, so frog walks
on video. Yeah.
I'm just not frog joke another time.
Give a frog alone.
That's my favorite joke of all time.
Oh, I love that joke, dude.
All right, so I do have a joke for you.
All right. I have no joke. Actually, I might. All right.
So a moth goes to see a doctor. He wants to go see a psychiatrist, and he's pretty upset. So the moth goes and he goes see a psychiatrist, but he couldn't find it. And so, anyways, he walks into an eyeglasses store, and he just goes and he talks to the optometrist guy. And the optometrist says, "Hey, how you doing?" And the moth's like, "Actually, I'm just doing terrible. I'm laying in bed rotting all day, every day. I look over and I see my wife, and I just remember the woman she used to be, and I see what she is now. Sometimes I just go in the bathroom and I stare in the mirror and I look at myself and I think about how my son talks to me and doesn't even respect me, and I don't even feel like a man. It's pretty miserable. At work, my boss doesn't appreciate me. I feel like I'm the lowest man on the totem pole, even though I've been there slaving away for over 23 years. And then the doctor says, well, it sounds like you really need to talk to a psychiatrist. How come you're in here talking to me? I'm an optometrist. I do eyeglasses. He's like, oh, yeah, well, the light was on. Because he's a moth, Ethan! All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. It's been a hell of a show.
There you go.
Oh, that's a good one, dude. I dig it.
It's a good one to close on.
That is a good one, dude. Have you told the Kermit the Frog joke on here?
Have I turned that mother?
Hello, have you turned the Kermit the Frog joke?
I have not,
You haven't?
but I could.
Maybe I should tell it.
I think you might be able to do it. Go ahead. You want to do it now? You want to save it? You want to do it?
Let's try it. All right, here we
All right,
go.
go for
All
it, go for it,
I'm
go
going to try it, okay? This is what we're going to... We'll close out on this. Here's the thing. This is Cox's joke, okay? I have heard this a couple times, probably a lot of times, but I think it'd be fun if I tell you your joke, okay?
I want to hear how you do it.
All right, and I'm going to probably, bust it up. It's probably not going to be great,
It's all good, man.
okay? All right, here we go. So a frog walks into a bank, right?
Oh,
And
that's weird.
yeah, it seems kind of odd, but you got to think, dude. In today's world, you can be whatever you want to be, right? So, frog walks into a bank, and frog looks at the teller, and he says, "Hello, Mrs. Teller." And she says, "Hello, Mr. Frog. What's your name?" And he says, "Well, my name's Kermit." And Mrs. Teller says, "Well, hello, Mr. Kermit. What can I help you with?" He says, "Well, I sure would like to have a loan. I'm hoping to get a new lily pad."
Yeah. Keep going.
So the teller says, "Well, hello, Mr. Kermit. Hopefully I can help you with your lily pad. My name is Paddywhack. I will be serving you today. I'll be helping you every way that I can. So what kind of lily pad are you working with or looking for?" And he said, "Well, I'm looking for a green one." She said, "Ooh, a green one. We're kind of scarce on those. What kind of collateral do you have?" So Kermit held out his hand, and he had a little little, like, kind of what elephant in it. Kind of unclear what it was. It was small. It fit in his hand. It was pink. It's kind of, unclear exactly what kind of value this thing might have. And the teller said, well, Mr. Kermit, I don't know that that's going to work to get you a lily pad. I don't know that that's enough collateral. So she said, let me check a little more facts about you. What's your last name? He said, well, my last name's Jagger. My first name's Kermit, last name Jagger. I don't remember who my parents are.
This is great. Just keep going. This is good. It's so good to listen to it. Go.
She said, well, that could be impactful. But let me go check. So she did a little checking and she said, Mr. Kermit, I don't think we can get you a loan for a lily pad. Definitely not a green one. And he said, well, why don't we go check with the manager? She said, okay, I'll see what I could do. So, Miss Paddywhack went back to the bank manager and said, Mr. Bank Manager, there's a frog out here and he's wanting to get a loan on a green lily pad. And this is all that he has as collateral. What should we do about it? And the manager looked at it. He said, let's go out there and talk to him. Because that's pretty interesting. So, manager walks out there. And as soon as the lady walks up, the Kermit asks, ma'am, can I ask your name? She says, well, my name's Patty. I'm butchering this so bad.
It's so good. Just keep going.
She said, well, my name's Patty. Manager says, and what is your name? He says, well, my name's Kermit the Frog.
Jagger. Kermit the Frog Jagger.
Dadgummit. Kermit Jagger, dude.
It's Kermit the Frog. Keep going.
I don't even know how Jagger plays into all it. Whatever. So the manager goes, all right, and Mr. Kermit, you're looking for a green lily pad, right? Okay. And what'd you have for collateral? And Miss Whack holds her hand out and shows the manager. The manager goes, Patty Whack. She goes, sorry. She holds out the little thing, and the manager goes, that's a knick-knack, Paddywhack. Give the frog a loan. This old man's a Rolling Stone.
Damn it, Ethan, the whole time. You're like, I don't know why it matters that his last name's Jagger.
I forgot, dude. Here's the thing.
But you know the punchline. His dad's a Rolling Stone.
Dude, I heard...
That was really good. You remembered a lot of it, dude. You actually did great.
I haven't heard it in forever. The only other person I've ever heard say that joke was Norm Macdonald.
It's because it's his joke.
I know it's his joke.
It ain't my joke.
No, I know.
I know. He stole that shit from me.
But
no, go ahead.
Well, yeah.
Obviously.
Y'all are buddies? He was Munchausen by proxying you.
Yeah.
No, but he didn't include the old man's a Rolling Stone.
Well,
but it's 10 years ago.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to save that joke.
I nailed it.
You did nail it. You nailed it all right. No, that was actually really good. Oh, it was so entertaining to listen to you say it. Like, I was so proud. I was proud. And then it was almost like whenever I'm like, watching my kids try and do something and I want to step in and help them. And I'm like, nah, you just got to let them do it. You know what I mean?
Let him go. Let him
I'm
go.
so proud.
Yeah.
Even though at the same time, like, he's ruining it, but it's great. It's doing it all wrong, but I love it so much.
He's burning the house down, but he's doing the best he can.
I'll tell that joke. We got to give it some time, but I'll tell that joke again. You did really
do it.
good, dude. You did really good.
That was a blast, dude. Fantastic. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Actually,
This is an awesome pod. Thanks for having me on.
dude, thanks for coming in. Next couple weeks, we've just we'll just do it with Grant. You know,
Right.
We'll probably still just
Get Bartholomew back in here.
I'll run one of these little cameras, like on, I don't know, whoever, me or Grant, whoever sits over there, like, you know, we'll run one of those, and then we'll just roll with it, you know. But it'll be fun. It'll be blast. And actually, like, so I want to talk a lot of football this football season.
Love it.
I think that you should come in to do it. I want to talk a little bit of our fantasy league, but I don't want to talk a ton because nobody cares about somebody else's fantasy league.
Which we can talk about that because everyone knows that. That's a good thing to talk about, how everyone thinks that everyone cares about your fantasy, but really everyone just likes to talk about their fantasy and everyone wants to talk about their fantasy.
Right. And nobody gives a shit about
Well,
your fantasy league. Unless they're fantasy league mates. And then even like when you're talking about your team, I'm kind of going, yeah, but what about my team? What about my team? What about my team? You know? And then like, so
Exactly.
we'll talk about that. Like actually maybe we'll talk football season etiquette. Ooh, that might be the thing. Football season etiquette, right? Like, hey, talk football. Don't talk about your fantasy football league. That is terrible football season etiquette.
it's a tough thing.
Nobody gives a shit.
But for real though, like, do you want to hear my dynasty roster? Because it's like so. Yeah, I traded all my draft. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, dude.
That would be the 10th dynasty roster that I've heard this year that I have gone, well, this would be a good time to take a nap. You know what I'm saying?
Your eyes go over like a Krispy Kreme.
Yep, just glazed. Dude, fantastic. Thank you for being in here. This has been the Purvcast. This has been the Purvcast with my man Cox.
Put it there.
It's been awesome. So good. And I would say that I would guess that since you've kind of got like, you know, things are regulated a little bit, I bet that you're back in here within a couple weeks.
Hey man, we're gonna keep doing this on the regular. That's the whole point.
That's the point. So on the regular, and I actually think that you and me should shoot for in 2 weeks to record a kid's story.
Ooh. We can talk about that. We can talk about that. I'm gonna try and do it.
I think we can make it happen. I think that
We're storyboarding it right now, man.
I think
storyboarding it right now.
I think I could have something written because like that comes natural to me because I don't know. My brain is 7. I think that I could have some pretty good content.
We could literally go on for another 45 minutes to an hour on this subject.
Okay.
I could go forever.
How about that?
So-
Will you shake? Two
absolutely.
weeks. 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
We try to record a children's story.
I think I will have it done by then. I got the story done. We're
Even-
just making artwork, and then we do video recordings.
Even if it's not yours and it's something that we come up together, right? Okay. But like if it's your story, tell me. I'll be a voice character if you want me to be.
Oh, dude. I need some voice actors.
Okay.
And I need free labor, so I'd love for you to join. I'd love it, dude. It'd be great. I need free voice actors.
I'm right here, dude. And actually, like, you know, I mean, I've always been pretty good at voices, dude.
Give me one.
Give me a
Off the
character.
top.
Give me a character.
You're a hunchback, and you're like 20 years old, and like you've never actually got to go out and live your own life because like you've been too ashamed, and your friends and family like all put you down, and so you've been too afraid to spread your wings and fly and put yourself out into society. And now you're going to the grocery store to buy pancake mix, and it's the first time you've ever been out of your house. You're 20 years old. You're in the middle of town. You're getting pancake mix. Go.
I can see the eyes that are on me. But I know that my family depends on me for pancake mix. It's not comfortable and doesn't feel good. But it's a necessity. My family's hungry. And since I love them, I'll make the sacrifice and go out in public. Although the disappointment of what I look like looms low, the love of those around me stands higher. My mother loves pancakes.
I love it, dude. I love it. Disney movie. Dude, you're going to be on TV.
There you go, dude.
All right. Is that it?
What? I mean,
Was that it?
give me another
I
character.
feel like that was a mic drop.
Give me another character.
All right. So, okay. You're a teacher.
Okay.
You're a teacher. You're a male teacher.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you're a high school teacher. You just caught one of the kids cheating on their test. All the other kids leave the class, but you hold them behind because you want to talk to them privately, not to humiliate them in front of everybody else. But you take the stuff very seriously. You're a stickler for the rules.
For sure.
You like to dress very well put together. Like, you never have your shirt untucked. And, like, your shoes are always tied tight. And you always wear a belt. You never wear pants and, like, a shirt with no belt. You're that type of person.
Right.
All right? And you don't like sports. You don't like sports at all. You were never good at them growing up. So, like, the only thing you really do is you read a lot of books. And you're kind of nerdy and you don't go out on the weekends or anything. And so, anyways, this girl, she was cheating. And you caught her cheating. And so you hold her back. And that's your character. And you're very upset with her. But at the same time, you really don't want to be too hard on her because you know she's going through a tough time.
Okay.
Because she's got a sister at home who's bedrotting. And her other sister's addicted to social media on her Neuralink, and she never gets off the couch
Right.
like, laughing like Simple Jack.
She's the only one that's up and moving.
And you're like, do I want to push her to the depths that she has her own mother offed? Like Gypsy Blanchard? Okay, now go. Now, what's that voice?
So her name is Gypsy?
No, this girl's just named Sue.
Okay. Different. Sue?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? Okay, class, you are dismissed. Sue, could you stay back for just a moment, please? I need to discuss something with you. Sue. I didn't want to embarrass you in front of your classmates, but I did want to discuss something very serious.
What is it, teacher?
You're retarded. That you threw me off.
I wasn't supposed to say anything, but it was like there for the taking.
You were British. What the hell?
I don't know. Did that throw you off?
Yeah.
It was the accent?
No, it didn't. So, Sue, I need you to sit down and discuss something with me. I saw that you were peering over your classmate's shoulder throughout class. You have to understand that this isn't like sports. This is much more important. This is real life. This is tests that will help you to succeed and accomplish your goals in life. Sports will get you nowhere. You can cheat in sports. You cannot cheat in education. I saw you peering over your classmate's shoulder. That will not fly in this classroom. I am protecting you for this one time and this one time only. Turn it around. Don't do this again. And I will give you a second chance.
Dude, you have a future in voice acting.
I can do any voice you want.
I love it. All right, Ethan.
I guess we're done.
That's it.
That's it.